This is from Alicia. And so Alicia asks, if you could share one story with a new believer about how God has changed your life, what would that story be?
I always tell this story just for young girls my age. I don't know, like at the time I was, 23. But if anybody here is that age, just for me, my testimony in marriage. When I was a young girl, I knew I wanted to be married. I knew I wanted to have children. That was my goal in life. That was all I wanted. And I didn't know Jesus, so that was my God. And so I searched for a man and to have a family with and have children with. And shortly after I fell in love with Jesus, I realized that that probably wasn't going to happen. And I was going to do this life single with Jesus now because I had met him, and I just realized how great a relationship was with him. So I didn't really ever want to get married. And a little bit after that, Jesus brought me Jake. And with him, I realized that it wasn't about marriage, and it really wasn't about children. It was about building the kingdom of God. And it took the pressure off everything. It took the pressure off marriage for him and I. It took the pressure off children. And I think just having those moments together that we realized, hey, we're not really here to get married or have kids and, even be here. It's for him. It's more about us building the kingdom of God and pursuing a relationship with him. And all of a sudden it became less about me and less about my plans and more about him and what he was doing through Jake and I together as one.
I love how you said it removes the pressure, right? Because now you can just enjoy the relationship for what it is instead of making that relationship into a God.
Right,
You have God,
exactly.
you have Jesus.
Exactly.
And so you can just enjoy Jake and the kids without the pressure of them having to be everything, right?
And
That's
I'll
so
say
great.
I carry it with me now today, whereas I think before I just always got nervous that I would marry somebody, and you just don't really know until you fall in love with Jesus, and then you're like, oh, you don't have to worry, it's not about that, it's about him.
Love it. Love it. Let's do one final question here. So this is from Hope, and she asks, how has your faith inspired you to grow in times of struggle or any challenges that you face?
Yeah, I would just say we all have struggles and challenges, so just remembering that he's the same yesterday, tomorrow, and always. And just in those days of loneliness or where I'm struggling, waiting on him to get home or whatever, just going to Jesus and not waiting for him to call, get off the field, whatever, just going to Jesus, I would say, just keeps me growing in my faith constantly.
That's good. So having that constant, steady presence.
Right.
And stuff which I think a lot of times we don't always view that. Like, we view JT as the player on the field, but you're the family waiting for him to come home, and I'm sure it can be hard sometimes,
Exactly.
So that's great. But how Christ kind of keeps you grounded in that.